We are in the dog days of summer and fishing can be tough. These are 10 items I think you need to help you thrive as a fly fisherman in the summer. Now, granted, things like a rod and reel are essential, but I'm not gonna include things like that on this list. This is gonna be more catered toward guys that have a little bit of fly fishing experience. Maybe they're a trout fisherman or have done very little amounts of summertime and warm water fly fishing. But all that out of the way, let's get into it. Number one is wet wading shoes. If you're not wet wading in the summer, you're missing out. Think of it as a combination between all the things you love about fishing and all the fun you had creek hopping as a kid. If it gets too hot or the fishing's slow, just jump in. Wet wading isn't just for creeks either. I love wading carp flats, and of course, wading for saltwater fish is super fun as well. Although I'd love to catch fish pretty much no matter what, there's something about catching fish on foot that's particularly satisfying. Now, my current wet wading shoe is this Orvis Approach shoe. They actually quit making this. They updated it to the Orvis Approach wet wading boot, but it's a very similar platform. There are some other companies making specific wet wading shoes as well. I know Simms has got some, but don't feel like you have to have a wet wading specific shoe. You can also get away with just an old pair of sneakers. I do recommend a Trail Runner because they've got a little bit more grip to them. Just realize with a non-purpose built wet wading shoe like a pair of sneakers, you are going to be slipping and sliding a little bit more than something like a dedicated boot. A dedicated wet wading boot or even a normal wading boot is going to have rubber specifically compounded for grip in wet streams and on moss. Another really good option for wet wading is just to pick up a pair of wet wading socks. You can get these from every fly fishing brand pretty much, and then just wear those with your normal wading boots. And then last, another good option is a pair of Crocs. Yeah, they're teal, don't judge me. Crocs actually grip surprisingly well because the rubber is so soft, and they've got good toe protection. Definitely get something that's got toe protection. Chacos suck for wade fishing. Don't ask me how I know. Next thing up is a good insulated water bottle. Now, nothing hits the spot like cold water after a long, hot day of fishing. These are the Yeti bottles. They're great. They work really well. They're very durable. They're a little on the heavy side, but super rugged bottles. But there's a lot of good options on the insulated water bottle market now. This is a hydro flask here. If you're on a little bit of a budget, the Ozark Trail water bottles at Walmart are really solid water bottles too. It's nothing fancy. The technology's been around for forever. It's just a vacuum insulated bottle, but they keep your drinks cold for a long time. I particularly like this Yeti 64 ounce here because it's so big. I just fill this thing up with ice water. It lasts me all day and keeps me cool out in the boat. But if you're wade fishing, something a little bit lighter and smaller like a hydro flask, or some of the other options are great too. All right, number 3 is going to be a long sleeve sun shirt. Now these here are Simms Solar Flex. That's my favorite, but I've really grown to enjoy the Patagonia Tropic Comfort, and there's a lot of brands making long sleeve hooded sun shirts. Now I do of course want long sleeves. I also like a hood too for additional coverage. There are plenty of good sun shirts out there and they're all pretty similar. You will find your higher end, nicer shirts tend to breathe just a little bit better. They're a little bit cooler, but any brand's gonna work. If you need to save some money, there's some good Amazon brands too. No, this is not paid product placement, but if you need a fly shop to support and you don't have one, please support UNICOI Outfitters. That's my home fly shop. I do some guiding and some work for them. Great shop, super good guys. If you want to support a fly shop and you don't have one, try UNICOI Outfitters. Anyway, these are some other ones. They're all gonna do about the same thing. These are both Simms Solar Flexes here again. For your sun hoodies, I would suggest going with a little bit larger fit. Now, some of these are gonna be a bigger cut than standard anyway, but I definitely like to have a looser fit. That gives me some breathing room and some room for airflow. It's gonna keep you a little bit cooler during a long, hot day on the water. In addition to the sun hoodie, make sure you've got a good hat as well. And you've got a lot of good coverage from the sun. Number 4 is Polarized Sunglasses. Summer is sight fishing season, and nothing helps you more when it comes to sight fishing than a good pair of polarized sunglasses. Now, there's a lot of good brands out there. I'm partial to Costa. I've got some good pairs of Smiths too. There's a lot of good brands out there. I don't have experience with all of them, so I hesitate to tell you what's gonna be the best thing for you. Go to a shop, try some on, and see what works best for you. Now, as far as lens colors go, your bread and butter lens is gonna be some kind of brown, amber, or copper base lens. That's gonna be great for all light conditions throughout long days of fishing, sunny, slightly cloudy, that kind of stuff. It also is gonna help with visibility and contrast. You're trying to prioritize good visibility into the water to see fish. Sunglasses are also gonna help you with wade fishing because you can see in the water to wade easier too. So you can see rocks, moss, that kind of stuff. So they're honestly a little bit of a safety item as well, not to mention preventing getting hooks in your eyes. My absolute favorite lens color is these Costa Low Light Silver mirrors. These really help to extend the day and extend the time you can fish early in the morning and into the evening. As that light gets low, it's really hard to continue to use a polarized sunglass. In the evening is when glare is the worst. So these low light silver mirrors come in really, really handy. I did just pick up this pair of Smith Optics low light yellow lenses too. I'm planning to do a comparison of these two lenses soon, so stay tuned for that. Number 5 is Patagonia Baggies. Greatest short of all time. They dry quick, they're great. The liner material is nice, which most liners are kind of sucky, but these have a nice liner. I've had some pairs of these for over 10 years and they're still growing strong. They offer them in a 5-inch inseam, which is my preference. They also have a 7-inch inseam, so there's something there for everybody. They dry fast, they're insanely durable. You can wear them wading, you can wear them swimming, you can wear them out to dinner with your wife, you can wear them to a funeral, a wedding, whatever. Okay, yeah, maybe not those last couple, but you get it. These are a great short. So yeah, Patagonia Baggies are awesome. If that's a little rich for your blood, I get it. They're not a cheap short. This Columbia PFG back cast is a really, really good alternative. I like these a lot. The materials aren't quite as nice. They're not quite as durable, but I've still had some pairs of these going strong over about 5 years. I don't like the liner quite as good. It's a little more cheese gratery, but otherwise really, really good short. These do have belt loops, which I actually prefer. I wish Patagonia would add that, but they don't ask me. Number 6 is Bluegill Flies. Not bass flies, not carp flies, not musky flies or pike flies or whatever, bluegill flies. Summer fishing can be tough, and when the fishing is tough, it's really nice to have bluegill fishing to fall back on. Bluegill are almost always game and apt to feed. Grab your kayak, grab your boat, go wading at your local pond or stream or whatever, take a lightweight rod, take some bluegill flies, and I promise you're gonna have a really fun time. Number 7 is sunscreen. Yeah, I know it's a little bit of a cop-out, but please, please, please take care of yourself. Everything that's not covered by clothing needs to be covered in sunscreen. It's hot, I get it. Sometimes we wanna wear shorts, we wanna wear t-shirts. Please put sunscreen on, but not only on exposed, obvious skin, but also your hands, particularly this area of your hand likes to get burnt on me, whether I'm rowing the boat, poling, or fishing. Also, nose, forehead, anywhere that doesn't have covering on it needs to be covered in sunscreen. Reflection of light off the water, secondary rays bouncing off of the deck of your boat, whatever. You need to be protecting your skin. Your skin's gonna thank you and your future self will definitely thank you. Number 8 is Google Earth, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever satellite mapping you wanna use. Summer is time for exploring. Hop on Google Maps, find some streams, lakes, blue lines, whatever near you that you've never fished before, and go explore and have fun. Use summer as an opportunity to go try something different. Your favorite trout stream, all the trout are boiling, so go look for something new. Every little stream, ditch, pond, river, whatever has got potential, and you might be really surprised what you find. Take this summer as an opportunity to go fish a new area or fish for a new species. You might find something that you like better than what you used to fish for. Number 9 is a warm water fly line. So all fly lines are not made equal. If you're a trout fisherman and you decided to go bass fishing or brim fishing or whatever with your trout setup, you might have found that your line just doesn't perform like you want it to. It's sticky, it doesn't shoot well. That's because it's a cold water line. Lines are formulated for certain water and air temperatures. So if you switch to a warm water line, you'll find that it performs way better. Some of my favorite warm water fly lines are the Scientific Angler's Amplitude Infinity Warm, the Bass Bug Taper, and even saltwater lines like the Grand Slam. Really the only difference between your freshwater lines and your saltwater lines comes down to temperature. So if it's really hot, sometimes your saltwater lines perform really, really well. In particular, I really like the Scientific Angler's Infinity Warm because it's not a really aggressive line. So it's a half weight heavy, but it's still gonna perform great on your trout rods or whatever rod you typically use, but it's got a little bit of extra weight to help get that bass bug or that brim fly out where you need it to be. Number 10 encompasses all these things we've been talking about, and it's super important, and that is an open mindset. Summer fishing can be tough. It's hot, and a lot of times your favorite piece of water or even style of fishing is off the table. Go try something new, try something different. If you're a trout guy, go fish for bass or brim. If you're already a bass guy, leave the bass boat in the garage and go try wading a warm water creek. If the fish aren't cooperating, jump in, do a rope swing, drink a beer, have fun with your buddies. You don't have to catch fish to have fun. Some of my most memorable days on the water are just hanging out with good people, laughing, joking, and enjoying God's creation. It's freaking summer. During your childhood, you would have been absolutely ecstatic every little bit of that summer. I promise you, summertime fishing, no matter where you are, can be awesome. You don't have to live in Montana or go to Belize to enjoy the fishing opportunities this summer brings. You just have to give it a chance. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. As always, if you've got any questions, please let me know. I try to respond to all of my comments, or at least all my comments that are worth responding to. Also, all this stuff I talked about, I'm gonna link down in the description. So if you have trouble finding anything, I'm gonna try to put it there for you, just to make your life a little bit easier. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and have some fun out there this summer. Bonus item number 11 is a good headlamp or a good flashlight. In the summer, a lot of times your best fishing is early in the morning and late in the evening. So if you're not getting to your spots in the dark or you're not heading home in the dark, you're probably missing out.